Hi everyone, today I wanted to share with you guys the apps that are on my phone. So the iPhone 13 Pro, I recently upgraded to this one from an older phone, and well, it's been doing great, and I now use it every single day as part of my productivity and creativity workflow. And I'm always on the lookout for new apps that might either replace apps that I currently have to do a better job, maybe they have better features, or just apps that I could integrate into my workflow and make life a bit easier. So I wanted to share with you guys the apps that I use every single day, some apps that are maybe a bit more like task specific, and of course just some apps that I think you guys might want to try out to add to your personal workflows. Let's start with the lock screen here. So this was actually a poster that I really wanted to buy for this room, and ended up going with these two right there that are a bit lighter and have less pop of color, because I wanted something a bit simpler for this background and just for the room in general. So I took this picture on the internet and I just photoshopped it into a wallpaper. So now instead of being on my actual wall, it's on the wall of my phone. And as I open my phone, you can see that I removed the car once again in Photoshop, just because it was taking that space at the bottom of the screen and it was a bit annoying for the apps. And I'd actually really like to make custom wallpapers for you guys. Maybe it could be nice. So if you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments below, and well, I'll get to work on these. It'd be a cool project, I think. So as you can see on the top here, I have two widgets that well, we start with. So the first one is Fantastical, which is just my calendar app, and the second one is Todoist. So the idea here is that every time I open up my phone, I want to see what event is next and what I have to work on next as well. So with Fantastical, I could see that, well, today is the weekend, so I don't have anything planned except for filming this video. But if I'm at work and it's a busier day with maybe a lot of meetings, I know what's next and when it's coming. And Todoist, my to-do app, of course, lets me know what else I have to do for the rest of the day. And then I have this transparent widget, I guess, which is done with an app called Clear Spaces. Actually, all of my widgets can slide into invisible widgets, just because I like to have my phone kind of more clean. And the first widget here is the weather app, and I use this a ton, whether that be to plan something with my girlfriend, with friends, or even just for filming these videos. Because like I've said in the past, this room is actually quite dark, and even though I do have a few fake lights or artificial lights, nothing really beats this bright window. And so I use this app to try to find when the best day would be to film and what time during the day. I also have another Todoist widget. I also have this MyFitnessPal widget that allows me to see how many calories I have left for the day, because I'm trying to lose weight, and well, MyFitnessPal has been the app that's been helping me. And I really like to have my apps at the bottom here just because it's a bit easier to reach, and they're all apps that I reach for a lot, so that's why they're here. And now the four first apps on this home screen are on both ends we have Safari and Waze, which we all know what they are, and in the middle I have two fitness apps. The first one being MyFitnessPal, which I just talked about. So this is the app that I use to log my calories. I use this every single day, every single meal actually. It's been helping me quite a lot to achieve my goals, and even just for eating healthier. I find that if you eat healthier, your mind feels also better, surprisingly. Well, not so surprisingly, but it does. It really does. And it's my favorite app just because of how simple it is. You can pretty much scan anything, any food, and it's already in their database. You can save recipes if there's something that you make quite a lot. So yeah, this is my app of choice. And up next we have Heavy. So Heavy is my favorite app for logging workouts. As you can see here, I logged a workout this morning, a chest, shoulders, and tricep workout, and it wasn't really good because there were way too many people, so we're not going to talk about it today. So here we see my 3-day split workout, which is well, just a routine I follow. So I try to go to the gym 6 days a week, so from Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday is my rest day. It's also the day where I spend all the day with my girlfriend, which is nice. So I try to go 6 days a week, and of course it's not always possible, but that's fine. Having an app to log your workout, I think, is quite important. About a year ago, I had a car accident and my back was completely destroyed, and I couldn't do any exercises, and now I'm really proud to say that on Thursday, I hit my personal record both for the lateral pull down as well as for the seated cable row. those were the two main exercises that I couldn't do anything on there. And now I hit 140 and 160 on the seated cable row. I don't know if that's a lot for most people, but I'm really, really happy about that. And then up next, we have 4 productivity apps, the 4 apps that I use the most throughout the day. So the first one on the left is Spark, which is simply an email client. It allows me to put all of my emails, all of my email accounts together. I have quite a lot. I have one for work, one for everything that has to do with this YouTube channel, one for my freelance client, and a few other personal ones. And well, I receive all of my emails in there. And the nice thing about this app is that you can actually send emails directly to Todoist, so my to-do app of choice. And well, with their smart gestures, it's super easy to use, so I can just archive that. This was a friend that logged into one of my Instagram accounts, so I'm good on that one as well. And then let's say I want to reply to this comment later on, which I already did. I could send it to Todoist and say I want to do this later today. I can save it. And then just like that, it's exported to Todoist. And I'm a big fan personally of having Inbox Zero, so this app is my app of choice for doing that. And then I have Fantastical, which is quite simple actually. It's just an app, just a calendar app. So what's cool about this app is that it allows me to have all of my calendar accounts on the same app, but also allows you to write in natural language. So I could say, well, like the example here, lunch on Monday at 12, and then I don't know, with someone, whatever. And if you actually log your if you actually add your contacts with their other apps, you'll be able to send invites as well with this app, which is where the app gets a lot more powerful. So yeah, it's a cool app overall. And then up next we have Todoist, the app that I use for my to-dos. So as you can see here, the email from Spark got in, so I can just mark that off. I'm filming this video currently, and the really cool thing is, well, it's just super simple to use, so I use it a ton. And every time I have a new thing to do, I'll just write it down in there, so it's out of my mind, and I know I'll get to it later on. And if I don't get to do something today, I can just say that I'll do it either tomorrow, next week, or whatever. So it's a super cool app overall, just because it's super simple. Up next, we have Notion. I could talk about this for days, but I won't. Let me know if you maybe would like me to do a more in-depth video about this app. It's really, really amazing. I use it to plan all of my YouTube content and everything that kind of goes around that, as well as every project I would say in general in my life gets planned on there. It's a really, really nice app, and I like to have it ready on there because well, let's say I'm planning a video, I can try to find ideas, and then whenever I have a new idea, I can just write it down, or just review my content before I do these videos. Is also a good idea. On the next app, we have the apps that I use a lot, but not every day. So the first two ones are TubeBuddy and YouTube Studio, which pretty much do the same thing. So YouTube Studio is an app by YouTube for creators, where you can see all of your stats. So I can see I actually got 3 new subscribers today. And so you can see how your video ranks compared to your last 10 videos, which is really nice in this case because it's ranking top 1. But if it's not, it's kind of demotivating sometimes. And it's really helpful, especially if you're trying to find things to optimize your videos. So I can see here that people aren't clicking on this video a lot, which is either because maybe the content is not interesting for them, or simply because of the thumbnail. So I might want to rework that thumbnail later on. And you get a lot of stats. You can also reply to comments if you want to. So so you can reply to comments, which is super cool. And TubeBuddy is kind of similar. You get a lot of stats for everything. So I can see I got quite a lot of views in the last few hours. And you have your comments as well. But the main thing about TubeBuddy is its SEO. So it's an app that was actually designed for SEO. And the day I started to implement the tips that were on TubeBuddy, so I started to do SEO optimization for my video, is kind of where I started to get a lot of views. Well, a lot of views for my channel at least. So it's been a super helpful tool overall. Next we have Frame.io. Frame.io is once again an app that I use a bit more on my computer, but I still have it there for whenever I have kind of free time to work on this. So this app was designed to work in Teams, so I could edit a video, send it up there, and then the idea is that I could send it to editors or partners or whatever, and they could leave comments on the video. I can then export them in the video and fix everything that has to be fixed. But I use it for B-roll, so I'll export my video on frame.io, and then I'll watch it completely, and I'll just type notes for every time I have an idea for B-roll, and that leaves a timestamp comment. And once I'm done going through the video and I've written down all of my ideas for B-roll, they're all timestamped there, and I can export them directly to the app that I use to edit my videos. And I have this nice organized list of all the shots I need to take. So I'll work on my desk here. I'll do a bit of B-roll and then I'll place it in the video. And because everything is timestamped, it's super easy. So let's say I wanted to take a picture of this phone or whatever. I'll have a note, and then once that's done, I can just click on the note and it'll give me the exact time where I wrote that note. So it's been making my workflow a lot better, and it's a really, really cool app for that. Next, we have Milanote. And this is an app that I really recently downloaded. But it basically allows you to do really nice mood boards. I believe the original goal of this app was to do something sort of like Notion, where you can manage projects and stuff. But that's not at all what I've been using it for. And the really cool thing about Milanote is you have a web clipper, and so you can save anything that's on the web. It's like it'll appear as a small icon on an image, and it saves the link as well as the image and everything. So it's really nice as well if you're trying to find maybe products for your desk or something like that. You can just save anything you see that you like, and it'll save them to whatever board you choose. And then you can just refer back to these things later on with the link to where you saw them, so they're easy to find. Next, we have Repost, which is an app I use just to repost things on Instagram. So I'm actually running 2 Instagram pages besides my own. The first one is called laters.setup, which is a page where I upload every single day setup inspiration, so desk setup. And the idea for that is that later on I like to do some sort of series where maybe I take subscribers desk setup and kind of redesign them or something like that. I think it'd be super interesting. And this page is where I'll try to build a community. And if you want to be featured, send me a DM and I'll post your setup. PhoneFlow is an app that I use to write blog posts on my website. The website I have was built with Webflow, and sadly they don't allow you to write posts on your phone directly, but I can do that with PhoneFlow, so it's super easy to use. The next app is Dropbox, and I've talked about how my computer doesn't have a lot of storage, so Dropbox has been a huge lifesaver, and it also allows me to have all of the things I film at the same place. I actually use it strictly for YouTube. And what's nice about this is that if I ever need a footage that I've used in the past, I can just make it available on my computer, and then I have it ready to work on this. Canva is another really good app. I've talked about it in a video I made about apps that were on my iPad. And I work as a designer, and it's an app that's definitely frowned upon in the design community. But that's really just because it's super easy to use. So I think you should definitely use it if it suits your needs. It's of course not as powerful as like Photoshop and everything, but for making simple, quick projects, like simple, quick documents, it's really great. I use it a lot to make Instagram stories because it's super easy to use. So you can kind of have a template and then just have a story kind of ready right there. And it's just been a super cool app because of how easy it is to use. If you have the pro version like I do, you can even plan content ahead of time. So if I want to, let's say, share a specific post on I don't know, next week, whatever day, I can do that through Canva, which is a really nice feature as well. And next we have a few distractions app. So YouTube, of course, Insider, because I like to read about business, tech, all of that. Formula One to read about F1, and Uncrate, which is a really cool app, really dangerous. So I like to browse on there to find new nice products. So if you've ever noticed in my b-rolls, I like to use a few books that I have, like 2 magazines from B Magazine as well as a book from Porsche. And I found all of these books on this app, and yeah, it's definitely a really dangerous app, but it's really cool. We go through all of the apps that I have. I won't go through all of these, it would be super long and boring. But as you can see in the social media area, I don't have a lot of apps. I pretty much only use Instagram, Twitter a bit, and LinkedIn for more like professional stuff. But I don't go there really often. In the entertainment, I have all of the basics ones, so nothing really special except for Air that I wanted to talk about. Air is a podcast app, so you have pretty much every podcast ever on there. And if your podcast of choice is not on there, you can add it through their RSS feed. And what Air allows you to do is that you can, when you play a podcast, let's say you find something that you like, you can do an air quote, and that will save the last like 30 seconds as a highlight, and you can then export them to other things. So it's been a really cool app for listening to podcasts. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I still enjoy the app. And the rest are, well, you all know these apps. In the photo video, we've seen most of these except for Lightroom. Lightroom has been getting a lot better on the phone, I have to say. It used to be quite bad, and now it's pretty much the same as it is on their computer. So it's a really cool app for editing photos on the go. I've talked about this in my last video, but I carry a camera pretty much everywhere. And well, now I actually use my phone quite a lot because it's pretty good. And I like to use Lightroom to edit my pictures on the go. It's really easy to use. And yeah, I don't do a lot of edits. As you can see, this is the original, this is the final version. But I really like this app. It's really nice and simple to use. In the utilities, we don't have a lot of interesting things. This is the Clear Spaces app that I talked about, which allows me to have the clear widgets. I have Google Assistant just because I have a Google Smart Hub there. And nothing special to mention otherwise. I do have this app here that is not a good app, but it's the app we have to use to pay parking here. And parking is pretty much hourly, costs about as much as minimum wage. So this is the app that they use to rob us. Another app I wanted to talk about is this right there. This app is called Parcel, and it's an app that I found to track all of my deliveries. And it's, well, first of all, the UI is quite nice, a lot nicer than other apps I've used in the past. And it auto syncs with Amazon, which is super cool. So anytime you make an order on Amazon, well, it'll get synced to there. Planta here is an app that I use to take care of all my plants. So it's a literal lifesaver for my plants, not for me. And it's just simple to use. You add your plants where they are, I'll ask you a bit of information, and then it'll take care of letting you know when you have to either water your plants or everything like that. And well, ever since I got this app, my plants are going pretty well, as you can see. Medium is another app that I use to post blog posts. So when I do these videos, kind of like I do with my own website, I post a written version there. Just so that way I can get a bit more stats to try to find what people are interested in, as well as maybe increase a bit the reach of my videos, so getting a bit more out of the content that I make. And then in the education area, I have Readwise, which is an app to kind of add all of your highlights from different things together. I talked about it in this video about my 5 top favorite productivity apps. And we have Bosu, which I use to try to learn new languages. I haven't been using it a lot, sadly. That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to know the apps that are on my iPad, my favorite apps for productivity, creativity, as well as a few entertainment apps, go check out this video that I made on the subject. And well, have a really good day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.